impressed by the early rising. You've even beat me because I used to not be that early of a riser. I mean, I just finished studying university in June this year,
Oh
but
wow,
when I was at
congrats.
school, yeah, thanks. I always dreamt of having an early schedule, but at school with living with four other guys, we were just going out most nights. It was hard to get that schedule, but then I promised
Yeah.
myself when I'm done, then I'll start waking up early. So actually the last since like mid-August, so I guess now the last 2 months I
Mhm.
woke up 5 every single day.
There you
Um,
go.
so
It's
that's
it's
been gonna
important to
kind of
build that
try to
habit.
follow that, yeah.
Yeah, man.
So,
And it's not easy, you know what I mean? Like I would love to say I do it every single day of my life, but there's also days where I go out with my friends or my girlfriend and I just have fun and I give myself time to I push my schedule back a little bit more, but it's important to at least keep most of those days consistent as possible. And then that's when success starts to come.
for sure. And can I hear more about you said that the first half of the day is the priorities, the J4
Hmm.
production, kind of your business, and then later in the day is more of those passion projects. Can I hear
Hmm.
about what you're doing on the passion project side as well?
Yeah, so right now it's just kind of like I said when I was earlier starting my career is like showing brands and companies like what I can do. I would love to say that I've done everything so far, but I haven't. I really want to focus in on telling stories in this coming future, and I really see myself being a big time director one day. But you have to prove it. You know what I mean? You have to put in the reps. And so right now I'm working on a few short films that uh, co-written, I written, and then getting help from some of friends that they wrote and putting those out there into the world. So right now I'm working on two currently. So one for Canon, and it's another passion project of mine. It's kind of an underdog story where I got a few friends of mine to kind of really put out a narrative project, and that's something that I haven't done quite yet. And right now it's looking really good. I really want to put those things out there into the world and enter them into the short film things and hopefully win some awards and then to get my name out there a little bit more.
Yeah, that's very cool. Congrats.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and for a short form like that, to get awards and to get seen and recognition, where do you post that? Is that on YouTube or is there kind of certain platforms
No,
that you're posting?
there's certain platforms. There's a thing called Short of the Week. That's a really popular one in the
Hmm.
filmmaking world of where there's like different categories that put you in. So it can be narrative, documentary, commercial, you name it.
Oh,
And then you enter it, it's a small fee. And then they have people vote on it. And then there's also regular
hmm.
film festivals that go on uh, all around the year. And then you just pay a certain price to get in, to get entered. And then people vote for you and see if it's a good thing. And then once you get accredited, those get brought on to the bigger film festivals, which is the Cannes Film Festival. Um, I think it's in Italy, and that's one of the biggest in the world. And once you get
Hmm.
your name on there, you win awards there. That's when you're like a legit director. That's when you can start getting hired from big time production companies to do future films and stuff like that. So it's a process to it. And like I said, you have to put in the reps, and that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. Wow, that's very cool. It's almost this whole different world which I'm not as familiar with, but um yeah, yeah, that's amazing. What exactly is it like being a
Hmm.
creative director? Like what's it like being on set? I assume like you're saying you're managing all these different people, right? So there's a lot of moving parts. What's the process like for actually creating a film?
So many steps into it. As first of all, is just coming up with the idea and kind of seeing what resonates to you first, and then
Mhm.
kind of getting a writer involved with that or yourself write it out, and then pitch it out to people. And hopefully, companies or different agencies have the money to back you up. That's the hardest part is getting money for your films. That's why a lot of people have to do it themselves and just grab a camera, their friends, and whatever and make their own film. But I got blessed and had Canon back me, so they gave me a good amount of money to put those projects out there. So that gives me already a step ahead of a lot of
Yeah.
people. And now, once you make a good project, and I hope this project is amazing, I think people will like it. That's when you start entering into film festivals, and then hopefully from there it gets picked up. But it's a long process to it.
And so if let's say someone just out of curiosity, if let's say
Hmm.
someone's listening that they wanted to get into kind of that film production, but let's say they're just standing at ground zero, they don't have the
Mhm.
backup. Do you just throw it on YouTube, or what exactly would be the
Yeah,
process if
just
you have
start
like
on
no
YouTube.
resources?
Yeah, just start on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. There's no excuse to not be seen nowadays because
Hmm.
there's so much content being pushed out. You don't necessarily need a force behind you to get noticed. And a lot of people are getting so creative, and now people have access to the best cameras in the world for way cheaper than it used to be. So if you just put those projects out into the world and build a following, somebody's going to see it, and you never know who's watching. And for something like this, like a podcast that I did for the 505, I got noticed. And
Hmm.
just putting your work out there into the world and having these type of conversations, you never know where that's going to lead you. And by you just doing what you have to do, somebody's going to see it.
For sure.
Hmm.
And when you mention the building your social media, building that personal brand,
Hmm.
you've, in addition to your business, also built that personal brand up to a pretty solid following. What's been that process like, just building that, like Instagram and YouTube and things like that
Yeah,
for you?
that's the hardest part, and I wish I did have more. But like right now, my brain is so on such the business, but the personal side
Hmm.
is just as important. You know what I mean? A lot of companies, different jobs are coming in because they want to hire Jay Ford just because he's Jay Ford, not because he makes cool videos. Because there's millions of people that make cool videos or take good photos nowadays, but what's going to set you apart is your personal side. And what do you
Hmm.
bring to somebody's company? What do you bring to somebody's agency that um, that is welcome? They want to pay you to kind of be the guy that they have confidence in, or somebody that can be super nice to everybody on set, somebody that can you know what I mean? Just have a good overall personality, energy to it. And the more you put that out there into the world, the more it's like, hey, I really like that Jay Ford guy. Like, let's bring him on here. And that's what the power of being a good person, honestly. That will take you a
Hmm.
long way.
For sure.